Maybe look at
We can do it again. It's almost every time better. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
Okay. Hello, I am Emmanouela Apostolaki. Hello, I am Emmanouela Apostolaki. I am 23 years old. I study veterinary medicine and I am vegan since 2015. So back in Greece, I didn't know anything about veganism. I didn't know any vegan. So after I finished high school, I was in Bulgaria, and I just randomly saw a video about a slaughterhouse for pigs, and it was the first time I actually thought about it and where our products come from, and I was very shocked, and I cut the meat overnight. And then I was vegetarian for 6 months, and still I didn't know anything about milk and eggs. So I was vegetarian for 6 months, but still I didn't know anything about meat and eggs. And then as I kept educating myself through internet and videos, I realized what is happening to the milk industry and to all the industries of the animals, and I saw the suffering that it's not only on the meat, so it's extended to the other products. So after 6 months, I decided to also cut down the rest of it. After being vegetarian, I started realizing more about the suffering and the torture of other animals in the industry, and I became more empathic towards them, and I saw that if I care that much about a dog or a cat, and I care also about a cow, but it's not enough not to eat meat, because in the milk industry also cows are killed. So after I saw the torture in the industry of the meat, I saw that the torture is not only on the meat products, not only they kill animals, but also in the milk industry and in the eggs, because the cows, they try to impregnate them all the time and kill their calves and take their milk, and it's not at all a pleasant way as they show us in the commercials. So I didn't want to take part of any of it, so I cut also the milk and dairy and became vegan, because I think it's the more empathic, it's the more successive way to cause the least suffering animals. So it was summer, so mostly I was eating fruits and vegetables, and actually I was feeling really, really good. So the fact that I was feeling so good, it kept me going, because people were telling me that this is unhealthy, but still I tried to listen to myself, and since this made me feel so good, I just kept going, and then it just became a part of my life. It's a lifestyle. I don't even think about it. It's just what I do, who I am. So since going vegan, I saw myself just being more happy, just having more energy during the day. I still enjoy the food, because you can be very creative by cooking. I don't miss anything, because we have substitutes for pizza. If I want pizza, I can have a vegan pizza. If I want ice cream, I can have a vegan ice cream. So literally, I don't miss anything. I don't miss anything of taste, but at the same time, I feel better, my body feels better, and also I don't cause any harm to animals. After I became vegan, I had a lot of resistance, because this is not very known to people. It's not very natural not to eat, to give up meat, and especially the ones that love you, they think that this is harmful for you. So of course they will judge you, and they will say you that it's bad for your health. But after they saw that I was having such a progress, and I was actually healthier, maybe even, if not the same. And actually my mother got influenced by this, and she became also vegan. I think she cut it to maximally, and also my cousin became vegan. So mostly the women of my family have become vegan or vegetarian. So I think they saw the impact that this could have in your life, and they also changed, and I guess that they also feel good. So that's why they keep going. And of course a lot of friends, I think all of my friends are animal lovers, and I know they love dogs and cats, and I just hope that one day they see that all the animals are actually the same, that the same torture that the dog is having, it's also in a cow or a sheep. So yeah, so and I hope they one day they will just decide not to take part on this. And as they will react when someone is torturing a dog, they will also react when someone is torturing a cat or a sheep or a pig. Like, it's the same. It's really the same. As I study veterinary medicine, I come in contact with different kinds of animals, so not just dogs and cats, but also the sheep and cows and chickens, and I can see that they also can create a bond with you, and they have compassion, and they have a character, and they are individuals, they're not just products. So this is what caused me actually to have this kind of empathy towards them, just looking at their eyes. And I think the fact that through my studies I came in contact also with other animals and saw them, and because not everyone has the chance in the cities to see the animals that we eat, when you actually come in contact with them and interact with them, you can see that they're as equal animals as dogs and cats. And you can care the same about them. I just care about all the animals the same as I would care about a dog. I will care about a cow, not to harm them, or about a chicken even, like about all the animals. I think that all people have empathy and all people can create a bond with animals. It's just how they have taught us. And in our culture, through our cultures, we just have divine both animals, the animals for compassion, the animals for entertainment, for example, the animals for eating. So this has created a bit confusion in our heads, and this is when actually vegans tell us that this is bad. We don't think of it as bad because we don't see the animals themselves, we just see the products on the supermarket, so we cannot make the connection. But after you make the connection that the thing on the supermarket it was a living being, it was an animal that was alive, that was actually kept in really bad situation for years or months, or like a very short life until they kill it. And just for me to have a burger, it doesn't deserve it. Just to have a meal, an animal died just because I want to have a meal. I can have still a burger, but vegan. Yeah. Usually when people hear about veganism, they think it's just about our eating habits. So veganism is not just about not eating animals, but it goes also to other aspects, other ways of exploitation. So, for example, for entertainment, we have the circuses, we have the zoos, we have the fish tanks, the aquariums. So this is totally unnecessary for me, I think, just for our entertainment to capture an animal. Also, nowadays unfortunately, we still use animals for fur and leather. So nowadays, in the 21st century, also we can wear fur or leather from other materials. We have invented other sources of them, so we don't need animal farms to create this kind of furs, because also just one fur coat, it needs, I don't know how many, maybe 20 animals need to die or even skinned alive or dead, and until they die, actually they live in really small cages all together, like maybe 5 or 5, 6 animals in a small cage, and there's always also cannibalism with each other, so they live in really stressful situations and they just suffer their whole life until at the end they just get killed for a coat, just to look good. Even now, every year the milk industry gets weaker and weaker because people are changing, because there are so many plant-based milks. So just a simple change that you can do by yourself, and you just go to the supermarket and you buy a milk that is plant-based instead of real milk. This can have a huge impact, because the more demand we have on plant-based milks, and the less on animal that comes from animal sources, this will have an impact on the industry, and the more we demand, this is what they give us. So if this becomes gradually, it will be the most effective for us, for the planet, for the animals, and it will have a better result, I think. So everything starts from us, and the result then is huge. So what I would like to say to all the people is, when we hear about this stuff, not to judge instantly, but actually trying to educate ourselves more about what is happening to the world and to the environment, to the animals and to us, and just be more aware about it, just to educate ourselves, and then change will come by itself, from the heart.
How would you like to?
How I would like to end that people should, when they see about these things, not to instantly judge them, but to be more open to what is happening, and to act from empathy.